Oh yeah. Bro, this kid
Alright,
got
you guys
an A
are
on the
my
test.
heroes.
I don't even know that.
Do you see like the beams coming from his eyes, bro? Like
He has like a ray of light.
I don't know what you're talking about, but stop it. Let's get focused on this. So, I'm going to let Cole ask the first question because he...
You guys need to step up like me.
circles and stuff. Right. So what's your first question? Which one?
Oh wait, no. What was the question? 8. That's the factor.
Yeah. Where are you?
Hey, I'm waiting on a question, Cole.
Oh, yeah, okay. Sorry, for 8E.
Are you on the review sheet?
Yeah.
And 8B?
No, 8E. You like factored it on the answer sheet and we just like don't know how.
Wait, oh, there's an answer sheet online.
Yeah, okay.
I believe I said that.
We were paying attention.
You talked about it, guys.
To answer more, did you finish? Pretty much. You didn't do that. What about here?
right.
No, I don't know.
So, honestly, think about it. No. You gotta think about it. Real world. Think about it. When you're taking x squared, well, like the negative doesn't matter, right? And if it's like -1 squared, that's gonna be 1, right? So anything less, like if you're in here, it's just gonna be less than 9. So
All right, here we go.
So if it's either negative
Number
it'll still be bigger than 9.
8E.
8E. Let's look at 8.
Also,
8.
they can't touch. Remember, there's no square. It's just like a normal problem.
All right, what do the directions say? Answer and interval notation. Okay.
She's gonna be able to explain
Here we
it.
go. 3x squared plus 31x plus 36.
Yeah.
Remember, anytime you're solving a quadratic anything, you want to get it set equal to 0. Okay, whether it's an equation or an inequality, you want to get it set equal to 0. You are ultimately going to go to the number line and put 2 dots on this number line. Would you agree with that? Those 2 dots are going to be the solutions to this quadratic equation. So, could we maybe find them by factoring? Yes. If that scares you, how else could you find where to put the dots? You could use the quadratic formula. I'm going to go ahead and factor because he said apparently it factors.
Well, on the sheet it factored. We were just confused how you did it. It was like really hard.
So remember, I'm just thinking about the foiling. In the front, I have to have 3x and x. There's no choice there. The back has lots of choices. I know it's got to be kind of big. I didn't need a big number because 31 is big. And when I do this, I'm going to add up to 31. So 27 and 4 adds up to 31. So that would be an option. So would 12, I might try 12 and 3, just play around with it so I get the pair, yeah. So anyway, -4 thirds and -9 are my zeros, or my solutions. And then, if I'm forced, as I will be maybe on the AP exam, if I am forced to do a sign chart, then remember, I pick a number in each section of the number line and see if it gives me a negative result, because that's what I want, right, is a negative result. So if I put in negative 10, I would have a negative times a negative. Well, a negative times a negative is a positive, and that is not what I want. I put negative 10 in here, see what I'm saying? All right, so then I'll put in maybe, I don't know, negative 3. So negative 3 would give me a negative times a positive. If I put in negative 3. Well, that works. 0 gives me a positive and a positive. That does not. That does not work. So my answer is negative 9 to negative 4. Did I answer your question then, Cole?
Yeah.
Perfect. All right. Kellen, since you also work diligently and circled things, what question did you have?
On 4A, the equation was like HT equals 16t squared plus, what was it?
Easier to.
It'll be
Zero,
negative
yeah.
16t squared.
Yeah.
Plus 100
Plus,
100t
That's plus 24, plus 24.
plus 24. How's that look? Is that what you have?
yeah.
Okay. And
But
what's your
then
question?
when you were solving it and you wrote up the equation, you said it equaled 50.
Am I doing A, B, or sorry, I'm doing A?
A, yeah. You said it equaled 50
Mhm.
and got rid of the t. Why?
Okay, so remember, this means the height at time t. This is function notation. When we say f of x is the same as y. This is y, okay? There's no t in here. This is y.
So that t just doesn't.
No, it's the height at time t.
Okay.
I am finding the t that would give me 50,
Alright, that makes sense.
okay? So think of this as y, and I want y to be 50. So I'm going to have the equation 50 equals negative 16t squared plus 100t plus 24. That's quadratic. So if I'm doing this algebraically, that is like with paper and pencil, I got to get it set equal to 0. That I'm sure doesn't factor, so I'm probably going to need to use, if I'm doing with paper pencil, do it with my quadratic formula.
Yeah, that's what I did. And then heated calculator.
And-
We got the same answers.
And you can, yep, you can do it also graphically on the calculator. Now, if you do it graphically on the calculator, you don't have to do this step. You could graph this equation and that equation and look where they intersect, okay? Now, when you solved that, did you get 2 answers?
Yeah.
And what were your 2 answers when you solved this?
0.272 and 5.978.
Can you check those?
Yes.
Right, okay. Now, those were seconds, by the way. So the question says, when will it be at least 50? So stop and think about this scenario. Here's the ball coming off the roof or whatever, going up and coming down. Here's 50. Here's where it's 50, and here's where it's 50. If I want it to be at least 50, then don't I need all of that right there? So my answer would be the interval from 0.272 to 5.978. That would be my answer, where it's at least 50. That means 50 or greater. Now, when will it hit the ground? Obviously, if you're doing it graphically, you're looking for that point right there. If you're doing it algebraically, go back to your original equation and put 0 in here.
Yeah.
And then solve that either however you want to do it.
Quadratic.
You got that?
Yep.
Is that one okay? All right. Are we good on that problem, folks? All right, Sophia?
Oh, I had a question about number 3.
Which one?
Number 3.
3. What's happening there?
It's not right.
Building was purchased 8 years ago. Each year it was appraised for this. Okay, so linear equation means write the equation of a line, and one no-fail strategy is to find 2 points. Because if you have 2 points, you can always do a line. So are there 2 points of data in there? The original value of the house was 137.5. After 8 years, it is now 102. Now take a look at those ordered pairs. Do those ordered pairs make sense to you? All right, let's write the equation of the line. So the first thing we'll do is find the slope. Get that for the slope.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So now I can write the equation of my line. And since this point right here is 0, comma, what is that point? That is the y-intercept. So isn't that B? So you can go ahead and work things out if you want, but you really already have B. So your equation is negative 44337.5 x plus 1375. So there is our equation that describes the value of the house. It doesn't say it has to be written as a function, but this would be like v of x. This is like the value. All right, Sophia, you with me at this point? Yeah. All right. What will the building be worth 13 years after it was purchased?
Plug in 13.
Plug in 13. So, again, going back to a question that came earlier, this is like a function. Gives the value of the house. So when we want to know the value after 13 years, we just plug in 13. And I got $79,812.50. Is that right? What's happening to the value of this house? It's going down. And obviously you should tell that from the original 2 points, but certainly isn't that what a negative slope is? That's your rate of change. Slope is your rate of change. And when it's negative, that means you're going down. All right, who else? What else have you found? Helen?
So for questions like 11B, do you make 3i negative, or you just keep it the same because you don't need, you're just trying to get rid of the i's?
Yes, it doesn't make a single bit of difference. So if your job is to simplify this, you are going to multiply by anything you want that will make that I in the denominator go away. So a plain I will do it, because that's going to give you a -3 down there. A 3i will do it, because that will give you a 9i squared. A -3i will do it, because that will give you a -9i squared. As long as you're getting an I squared, it doesn't matter. Now, Kellen, the thing is, if I multiply by just the I, then I'm going to have less canceling than I'm going to have if I multiply by something else. Because if I multiply by something else, I'm going to have to get rid of that extra that I could have. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter one bit.
So like questions like 11E, you have to do the opposite of the I.
You have to do the conjugate.
Yeah, so they like cancel out.
Yeah, that's the only way. Because if you take 7 minus 2i and you just multiply it by I, that will take care of this I, but then it puts one in here. See, and I alone won't work on that. You need the conjugate.
Does 11D, the I radical 4, does that become 2I?
It does.
Okay.
So you will have I root 3, I root 6, and 2I. So then we end up with I cubed, 2I cubed, root 18. Now this is 3 root 2. So we end up with 6I cubed, root 2. And I cubed is negative I. So negative 6I root 2 should be your answer. Because I cubed is negative I. Because that's I cubed, so I squared makes the negative. You shove an I like this one.
Yeah.
Let's say 2i cubed, right?
Because you have 2 and then I cubed, which is 3 root 2. All right, what else? Yep.
On 5, if you were to solve using point slope, then you have to use the coordinates of the midpoint of AB.
All right, let's look at number 5. We're writing the equation of the perpendicular bisector. So that's going to be a line. So we need the slope and a point, because we're doing a line. And the slope is going to be perpendicular to AB. All right, so let's find the slope of AB. So the slope of AB is 4 minus 6 over 8 minus negative 2. Negative 1/5, is my arithmetic okay? But I need to be perpendicular, so that'll be positive 5. And then, you know, here's A and B, and I need to be the perpendicular bisector. So bisector means halfway, midpoint. So the midpoint of this is negative 2 plus 8 divided by 2. Is that 3? And 6 plus 4, 5. So my midpoint is 3, 5. And then I write my equation. Yep. So y minus 5 equals 5, x minus 3 would be my point slope form. If I needed slope intercept, I got 5x minus 10 for my slope intercept. Okay, a lot going on there. Alright, what else?
Do number 2.
2. Airplane. Slope is 2/7. If I want to write the equation of that line, Scout, it's going to be pretty easy because the origin is the y-intercept started on the ground. So y equals 2/7 x is the equation of my line. That's the plane. And then I want to know how high will it be after it flies 2,500 feet in the horizontal direction. So this is 2,500. It's just going to be 2/7 of 2,500. Or 25,000. 250,000, sorry. That should be it. So another way you can think about that is, you know that the ratio of this to this is 2:7, right? You know that? You know this is 250,000. And you don't know what this is? So we could set up a proportion and say 7 over this equals 2 over this, and cross multiply. It's going to give you the same answer. All right. Who else?
Can we do number 6?
Alright, so we got -112 and 5n. And the slope is -311. Okay, I don't know, this bothers us for some reason. How do we find slope? How do you calculate slope? N minus 12 over 5 minus -1. Would everybody agree with that? That's slope. And I know in the problem that the slope is supposed to equal -3/11. So n minus 12 over 6 equals -3/11. And some of you want to do weird stuff, and it's all good, but just cross multiply for Pete's sake. This is a proportion. So 11n minus, what is that? 132.
Yeah, 132.
Equals -18. So I'll add my 132, so what is that? 114. So n is 114 over 11. You got it right, you're an amazing human being. Okay? All right, Mark had his hand up first back there.
On like 10A, it's like transitive. Do you put transitive equalities, or can you just put?
It isn't transitive of equality, it's transitive of inequality, and yes, you do. Yes, you do. You have to identify the name of the property and the version of it that you got. In this case, you have the inequality. By the way, that is sometimes called order. So if you were like then studying out of a book or tutor or something, the transitive property of order is the same thing as the transitive property of inequality. Either one's fine.
For 11C, I got them like, I got rid of the exponents, but how do you like multiply the fractions with all the variables?
Alright, so look at that one, and we'll start, I think, by doing what you did, and that is we're just kind of clean each one up a little bit. So I'll just start with that one, that's the first one. Now, my own personal style, not necessarily doesn't have to be this way, it might not be yours. I like to clean up what's in here first. I just take care of this right here before I do anything else. So I'm nothing to do with my 3 and my 4. What happens with my A's? They cancel and leave 1 in the bottom. My B's cancel and leave 2 in the top. And my C's up there? Now, it's to the negative second. So the negative flips the entire fraction. Now it's to the second. And now I'm going to square everything and have 16a squared over 9b to the 4th c squared. Okay, so Kellen, did you follow all that?
Yep, I got that one and the other side.
All right, let's do the other side. Do the same thing with the other side. Oh, that's not. All right, so I got 5, 6. All right, so what happens with my A's? These go up, not the whole thing, there's no flipping here. These are going up, and so I've got 6 of them up there. These are coming down, so I've got 4 of them down here. Does that look okay? And now I'll square everything, so I have 25, a to the 12th, over 36, b to the 8th. No C's in that one? Nope. All right, is that what you got for that one?
Yep.
Perfect. And now I need to multiply those two together. Now, everything in that entire problem is multiplied. So anything on the top will cancel with anything on the bottom. Okay? So I'm going to go ahead and cancel, especially the numbers, because some of these numbers are kind of big. So I know I can take a 4 out of here and a 4 out of here. And that might actually be all I can do. So on top I'm going to have 100, 4 times 25. On the bottom I'm going to have 81. You good so far? Now, how many A's do I have on the top? 14. I got 2 of them here and 12 of them there. How many B's do I have? 12. And I still have my C over here. So there's your answer. Is that okay?
Yeah, I just got confused on like multiplying them and adding them together.
Yep. It's like getting one big line across there. Everything on top is multiplied, everything on the bottom is multiplied.
For the number 12 was this solved by graphing. You don't only get one answer, right?
It would depend totally on what the curves look like.
But you're solving for the intersection.
Yes, we're solving for the intersection. So logarithms are going to have a shape like that. It's going to shift it around a little bit, but it's generally speaking that shape. So maybe depending on where the line's coming through it is to how many points of intersection you have. I don't know. Did you only get one?
Yeah.
Did anybody else?
Oh, when we graph the log, it was like that.
It should have been shifted that way. It should have that shape, but it should have been over here.
Yeah, but it was like flipped that way. Right?
I don't know. That doesn't make sense to me, but let's draw a picture and see.
It was kind of like a square root. The log was
Bar?
like a square root.
This kind of does, except it goes below, and it's gonna be shifted over here, it's gonna be on the left side. Oh, Lord, I don't know what kind of window I have.
If I chirp you, I'd say it to your face. But you can't do that.
Just the bus.
Every period.
Oh, yeah.
I have nothing.
What she did.
Huh?
Huh?
Red. Yeah. It's like flip side. They're not flip.
It's just
I have
the
that.
shift over here.
Orlando just malfunctions. I think you just get one action.
You just like that bug got coordinate. Right as a coordinate.
I think so.
If I got blue, if I got green.
I am thinking I should be getting another point of intersection.
Kelly. Oh, what are you yapping about? Oh, really? I like Chuck.
It's like, how can it do it?
Right, I got blue,
It's just
I got
that.
pink.
Oh, you didn't. I didn't get back there. That's all right. Let me know if you find out. Well,
Do you
It's like
have
this.
right pockets got blue numbers?
Let's
Left
just
pockets
choose
got
two of
pink
them.
keys?
Cancel out. Solve for one of them.
I know.
But then, once you get one of the values, you just start plugging them in, right?
I did the same thing here. So what you gotta do is just separate
You write the corner
where you write the
Oh, yeah.
So you see these.
I have to be
They're
careful
right.
because the
This
domain
one
of
shows
the
that's
twice.
is,
wrong.
this
Multiply
right
that
here,
by 2,
the domain is bigger than
the
negative
x's
3
equal.
this. And if there
Boom,
were
boom.
another point of
These are my two
intersection,
equations that you brought together.
so
Next, I want
and say, solve by graphing.
Not that. What? I put that in. They just plug it into one of these. And see plug them both into one of these.
Is that P7?
No, in order to
What? Oh, she just handed this. She handed it back.
when do we use brackets? When do we use brackets?
Brackets when it's.
A closed interval. So if you're solving an inequality and you want to include the endpoints, you use brackets. This is not an inequality. You are looking for where these two things cross each other. The answer is not an interval. The answer is an ordered pair. It's a point. X, comma, Y. Right? Okay, everyone?
I was just checking the answers.
I don't know, it's in Canvas, I don't have the answers written down here, but I can look them out. Who got an answer to that?
Which one?
The 12.
I got 0.787 and 0.933.
Is that what you got? Perfect, that's the answer then. Positive. All right, what
Yeah,
else?
that's what I got too.
What else?
How would you set up 8D?
8.
D.
Yeah, so that's
Well, what is your gut feeling, what you would do first?
Take an X out? Or
No.
we'll move it over and then take
Yeah,
an X
so
out?
first you'll get it, get 0 on one side. So we'll take care of that. Then, if you want to factor out an X, that'd be good. And then, what do you notice about after you factor out the X?
Oh, X minus 1, X plus 1.
Yeah. So that means, now remember, that's an inequality, so I'm looking for intervals of numbers. So on my number line, I would have 3 zeros at -1, 0, and 1. And whatever numbers are the answers will be things that when you plug them in, make this positive.
Yeah.
So I'll just try 1/2. Okay? Randomly gonna try 1/2. 1/2 would give me a positive 1/2, a negative, and a positive. When I multiply those, I get negative, which is not what I want. So this section will not be part of the answer. It will not get shaded in. And then you'll do the same thing over here, and here, and here. And that, whatever is shaded will be your answer.
So can we not just do the alternate? You want us to
You
plug a point in?
can, unless the directions say show a sign chart, okay? So this is something, you know, we all just have to get used to. If you have to show your work, that means that whoever is reading your paper has to understand what you're doing, and the shortcuts don't fly. Now, can you use a shortcut? Absolutely. I know the answer is going to be, that's not shaded, this is shaded. I know that my answer is going to be the interval from -1 to 0 and from 1 to infinity. I know that's going to be the answer because I understand the alternating thing, but where is the work that supports that? That's what you gotta show, okay? So on multiple choice questions, which in Unit 1 we'll start having multiple choice and free response. This is not, this is just a regular thing. But on multiple choice questions, shortcuts are fine because no one's grading the work, right? Just want the answer. But if you have to show your work, then you gotta show your work, okay?
So you're saying this upcoming task will or won't be multiple choice?
Is not, no multiple choice on this one.
How would you like show your work though? Like on, isn't the AP exam online? Like how would you show your work?
No, remember, multiple choice is digital. Free response is paper pencil.
Oh, it is.
And even when it goes fully digital, you'll have to type. Okay? It's gonna be a pain in the butt, but that's, this year it's not. This year your free response will be paper pencil.
That's helpful.
Okay. Alright, so showing the work is extremely important. So get in the habit of doing it, okay? Yeah. Alright, what else? Man, I passed back some homeworks over the last few days that have not been very good, Pete. So, if you just filed those away and didn't even look at them, boo on you, not a good idea.
Wait, can we ask questions about the homework?
You guys can have any questions you want about anything, I don't care.
C on P7.
Huh?
C on P7.
P7.
No, but it says B can have 0 zero's irrational.
You mean 1C?
Yeah,
I know
one.
zeros.
Well,
One of them
that's
plays zero.
exactly like the question you just asked me. What is the first thing we're gonna want to do
get rid of the 9x squared.
We're gonna move the 9x squared over.
C7. No, or P7.
And then pull out the
Yeah.
x. And this one's a little tougher to factor than that one was, but it looks like 4x, x, 2, 1 maybe. And then on my number line, again, 3 dots. 0, 1/4, and 2 will be my zeros.
Use 1.
And then if I'm gonna show all my work, then I'm gonna try a number in each section. If I don't need to show all my work, then I'll just pick one number. I'll pick 3. And if I put 3 in, it's gonna make everything positive, which is not what I want. So if I don't need to show all my work, then since I'm not going to shade that one, I'll shade this one and this one. And my answer will be
So,
okay.
so if we just picked one of those points, that wouldn't be like full credit. Like if we just picked
Now
one
you
of
get
the
to show
points.
your work. No, now you get to show your work. Because showing your work would mean, okay, so this tells me why I didn't shade that spot.
Yeah.
So now show me why I should shade this spot and this spot and this spot. Okay. Mark?
Can we do number 1 on P5?
P5.
What was that little square with the little thing? I didn't even see it. I know what you're talking about.
I love my folder.
Alright, so we've got a window that looks like this. X is defined for us, it has X right there in the problem. And it says that's a semicircle, and the total area is 200. So that would be the square plus this semicircle, right? Well, what's the area of the square? X squared. And the area of the semicircle is going to be 1/2 pi r squared. And this is r, which is 1/2 of x. So this is 1/2 pi, 1/2 x squared, 1/2 x squared, right? So what is that? That's x squared plus, okay, 1/8 pi x squared. Now, the good news is, I can factor out the x squared. And then, I can divide by this parentheses. And then I can square root, and that will be my x. So, 200 divided by parentheses 1 plus 1/8 pi equals, and then I'll square root that. I got x 11.984 inches, feet. Does that make sense to you? Now, had this not come out, like if this had been an x instead of an x squared, then I could have used my quadratic formula, because it's a quadratic equation to solve it.
View number 4 on P7.
P7. Number 4 is our box problem. So paper 24 by 32. What is my equation for the volume? What is the volume of this box going to be? 24 minus 2x, 32 minus 2x, and x. And I want the volume in question A to be 1520. So I want this to be 1,520. So on my calculator, I will graph the line 1520. I will graph this weird thing on the appropriate domain, which would be between 0 and 12. And I think it's going to be something. It's not a parabola, but it kind of has a parabolic shape when you graph that part of it. These will be the two places where the volume is exactly 1520. So the answer to question A would be x equals that number, which, I don't know, I have 3.793. And x equals that number, which is 5.298. There's no parentheses, because what happens when you put that in parentheses? It becomes an interval. That is not the question. The question is, where does it equal exactly 1520? At this x and at this x. Now, question B says, what size corners would yield a box with a volume of no more than 1520? Now that's an interval, because no more than 1520 means all of these and all of these. Okay, so this would be 0 to 3.793, and that could be bracketed because it says no more than, which means it could equal that, right? And then, what's this? This is 5.298 to 12. Now, why do I end at 12? Because that's where the problem ends. X can be bigger than 12. So we're done at that point.
If it was greater than, would it just be the
Here to here.
practice?
Well, if it said greater than, no, they'd be open. Because greater than means more than this.
Just be
No
the,
less than
the first point, comma, second point.
Yep. Yep.
And then C would just be the same answer, but the brackets are.
C is the same
There's no
answer, but
bracket.
these are parentheses, yep. Yep. So B and C are basically the same question. They just include them or don't. All right, what else?
Can you do number,
Alright.
can you do number 2 on the review?
Review number 2. Already did it. Where were you? I forgot who asked that question, but somebody already asked it and I already did it. So it's on video.
Okay.